Wow, so last week we were celebrating 100 subscribers, and this week we have over 200 subscribers. Hi, welcome to you all to Those Pesky Dames. A quick intro. We are a collaborative channel of 4, soon to be 5 women who post videos about feminism, women and gender around a different theme every week. We post videos every weekday. I'm your Monday regularly. Holly is your Tuesday. We are currently looking for a new Wednesday. Hopefully we'll have a new Wednesday by next week. Jen, who I suspect 100 or so of you have seen, because you're possibly here because of her video from last week, is your Thursday, and Emily is your Friday. We also occasionally post guest vlogs on the weekend, so if anyone would be interested in doing a guest vlog on any topic relevant to the general channel theme of feminism, women and gender, then there's some information in the doobly-doo to let you know how to do so. This week we're going to be talking about sex education, in celebration of the withdrawal of Nadine Dorries' ridiculous Abstinence Education for Girls bill. Again, I'll put some links in the description for anyone who wants a bit more background info, but the basic gist of it is Nadine Dorries is a UK Member of Parliament, and she last year put forward a bill which was to mandate that girls aged 13 to 16 should be given extra sex education classes to teach them about abstinence. Now, this upsets a number of people for 2 main reasons. The first of which being that abstinence-only sex education doesn't work. Teaching teenagers to just say no is at best pointless, and at worst only making sex seem more enticing by making it this forbidden thing. Of course, I don't want to fall into the tired rhetoric here that makes out that teenagers are all agentless, hormone-driven slaves who just can't help themselves and they can't resist this sex culture that surrounds them. There are many teenagers that, despite their hormones and despite sex culture and despite peer pressure and despite all the other cliches that are always trotted out, still choose not to have sex until later in life or until they're ready. However, there are many that do, and simply telling them not to isn't going to do anything. The second reason that people were upset by Dorries' bill is because it was aimed exclusively at girls. It put the entire weight on girls to just say no to sex. Unpicking all the awfulness behind this idea would take me much longer than I want this video to be, so I'm just going to focus on 2 aspects. Firstly, this idea plays into the myth of female chastity or purity. This is something which directly contributes to slut-shaming and is something that we talked about during that week's discussion. So I'll put a playlist again to that and more links in the description if you want to watch those videos. Secondly, it implies an exceedingly dangerous attitude to sexual responsibility, which is directly linked into victim blaming. According to Dorries' bill, it's the responsibility of girls to say no to sexual advances, and not the responsibility of those making the advances to ensure full, uncoerced, and unpressured consent. This includes consenting to the terms of sexual activity, including the use of protection, and to not pressuring or coercing people into not using protection if they want to. I'll put a link below, another link, yeah I know, to a recent article that reveals that for a quarter of all US teen pregnancies, the reason that no protection was used is because their partner didn't want to wear any. Now, all of this is absolutely not to say that sole responsibility should be placed on the boys. That would be no better. Rather, we need to be giving all teens, regardless of their gender, a full, open and honest sexual education. One that includes the risks and how to stay safe, as well as the positive aspects of sexual relationship. Trying to demonise sex as a bad thing to somehow prevent teens from wanting to have sex doesn't help anyone. People are going to have sex anyway. Making them feel ashamed or guilty afterwards is psychologically damaging and may even just make people want to do it more. This education should also include all aspects of sexual activity, not just straightforward, heterosexual, vaginal penetration using a penis. Some girls are going to want to have sex with other girls. Some boys are going to want to have sex with other boys. Some people are going to want to have sex with more than one person, either at once or outside of the societally sanctioned monogamous relationship. These are all completely acceptable sexual relationships that happen. Trying to deny them because of your own moral code isn't going to change that. We need to teach teenagers about practicing safe oral sex using dental dams and condoms, about using latex gloves to practice safe sex where hands are involved, and that although no, you can't get pregnant from anal sex, yes, you very much still should use a condom, because there are still a lot of very nasty sexual infections and diseases that you can pick up, including HIV. On top of this, and just as important as all the same-sex advice, we need to be teaching teenagers and young people about consent. Full, uncoerced, unpressured consent. It's only by trusting young people and arming them with as much of this knowledge as we can that we can ever hope to tackle both rape culture and the increasing rise in sexually transmitted infections and diseases and unwanted pregnancies. Now, I wanted to add in some sex education facts here that you may not know. For example, the hymen, as you know it, doesn't exist. Doesn't break when you first have sex. It's actually just a membrane that kind of folds back. Blew my mind when I found that out. Also, the clitoris, the little bit that you see, just the tip of the iceberg. Whole thing extends inside you and hugs the vagina like a big vagina-hugging thing. Seriously. But I don't have time to really explain them now because the video is already going to be too long. So I'm just going to put some more links, even more links. Links for everyone.